and Urban Development, IT, Electronics and Communication, Government of Telangana for the special address.
Good evening. Thank you. I'd like to firstly acknowledge the fact that we showed up late, but you all stayed. Thank you for that. Honorable President of FTCCI, Shri Anil Agarwalji, Jayesh Ranjanji, my Principal Secretary, Mr. Anil Chalamala Shetty, the guest of honor today. Also, we have Shri Arunji, we also have Sureshji, we have Sudhakarji, from Sudhakar Pipes, and Khyati, and to the entire family of FTCCI. Thank you for inviting me the third time, because there was a time when I was accused of not showing up for FTCCI events. But I think now that smear is gone. Now that I've done the hat trick, मैं 3 बार आ गया, तो अभी तो आप नहीं बोल सकते हो कि मैं नहीं आया. और मैं ये भी कहना चाहता हूं कि तेलंगाना बनने के बाद तीसरी इलेक्शन भी आगे आने वाली है. तो जैसे मैंने हैट ट्रिक किया आपके साथ, आप भी मेरे साथ हैट ट्रिक करो और मुझे वापस लाओ. ये भी आपसे कहना चाहता हूं. And going by the applause, I'm thinking we'll come back. Just quickly, Mr. Agarwal spoke about how the state has grown by leaps and bounds. Arunji also was pointing out to how this is a bright spot for the industry across the nation. Blowing one's own trumpet all the time is not a very cool thing, but it's my fiduciary responsibility also to make sure that all of you understand the kind of growth that we have witnessed over the last 9 years, especially as we enter the 10th year after the formation of the state. Let me quickly highlight a few things. Of course, governance is a permanent institution. Government is a permanent institution. Government, the leaders who head the government might change, but it's a continuous process. Lots of times what happens is, especially from a business perspective, policy continuity is extremely important. There is one government during whose tenure you would have set up an industry, and you would expect that whatever promises were made by that particular government will be kept by the succeeding government as well, irrespective of political affiliations, irrespective of their overall strategies and overall worldviews. In Telangana, if you've noticed, over the last 9 years, you've seen a very unique model. I was mentioning it yesterday in a builders meeting. I think most of you who are seniors, and because you work in an organization which was set up in 1971, I'm presuming that most of you are Hyderabadis and who've been here for the longest time, for 3, 4, 5 decades and more. So let me give you 2 examples that you can relate to. Back in early 2000s and late 90s, we had a chief minister, Sri Chandrababu Naidu Garu, who had a very pro-business, pro-IT image. He was considered very business savvy, he was considered very business friendly, etc. And then in 2004, we had another chief minister, Dr. Y.S. Rajshekar Reddy Garu, who came in, who had a very pro-farmer, pro-welfare, pro-rural kind of an image. So we had a chief minister who was pro-business, pro-urban, pro-business, and then we had a chief minister who was pro-farmer, pro-rural, pro-poor. But today, if you look at Telangana, what makes this unique is KCR Garu has an image of both. In fact, it's a blend of best in both. We have a pro-rural, pro-agriculture, pro-welfare image. We also have a pro-business, pro-urban, pro-development image. Now, let me substantiate and let me back that up by a few statistics. As was pointed out, the gross state domestic product of the state in 2014 was 5,05,000 crore. Now it's 13.27 lakh crore. It's a huge, humongous growth, highest for any state in the country. The per capita was 1,12,000 in 2014. Now it's 3,17,000, highest for any state in India today. For the 28 states in India. Let me also point out, the key sectors where we had to consolidate our strengths, where we had to ensure that all the synergies that are possible, in terms of, because, there is an existing ecosystem, so you'd want to build on, brick by brick that was built with a great deal of love and affection, great deal of effort in the past, had to be consolidated. So if you look at it, life sciences is a sector where we certainly added a lot of vigor, a lot of strength. And today we are a formidable force, not just in India, but also in the world. We produce 40% of India's pharmaceuticals from Telangana. We also produce 1/3 of world vaccines. And next year, in fact, we'll be producing 1/2, 50% of global vaccines. Let me also share with you, we have the world's largest number of US FDA approved manufacturing facilities for any province in the world. The largest number is in Telangana, 214. The second largest is in New Jersey with 189. So we have the largest number of such world-class manufacturing facilities right here. Not only do we have these, we are further consolidating on our life sciences strengths. So we have launched India's largest medical devices park in Sultanpur, Patancheru, which is again, which houses more than 60 units now, including the world's largest stent manufacturing facility. Also now, we're in the process, the last leg rather, of launching the world's largest pharma cluster in Mucherla, which is about 30 kilometers south of Shamshabad Airport. If you've heard me clearly, you would have heard not India's largest, but repeatedly world's largest. Now, one of the things our Honorable Chief Minister believes in firmly is, if we really have to compete with the world, with the large manufacturing countries across the world, be it China, or be it the US, or any other large manufacturing country, we need to operate on scale, at scale. Only then will you be able to bring in economies of scale, compete. I remember in this exact venue about 2 years ago, when Mr. Piyush Goyal was here, he and I, we sat with the All India Med Devices manufacturers as part of the annual flagship event of Telangana government, BioAsia. I had invited Mr. Goyal, he was here. So we were having a closed door discussion. So since it was a closed door discussion, we asked the representatives of the medical devices industry to speak freely and openly. And Mr. Goyal is a very progressive man, and he was very keen to hear from the industry. This was almost, I think, right around the time of COVID, 2 साल पहले. तो वो राउंड टेबल मीटिंग थी, उसमें से एक इंडस्ट्री लीडर ने, मैं नाम नहीं लेना चाहता, अच्छी बात नहीं है, वो खड़े हो गए, बोलने लगे कि सर, बात ऐसी है कि आज मैं चाइना से कोई ग्लव या मास्क या कुछ खरीदता हूँ और उसको शिप करता हूँ हिंदुस्तान, हैदराबाद or wherever in India. It actually is cheaper than manufacturing here. Now you tell me what is wrong in what I said, or what, you want us to compete with Chinese, you want us to compete with other large manufacturing medical devices companies across the world. आप कहते हो आत्मनिर्भर भारत, कैसे करें बताइए? क्योंकि मैं वहाँ से शिप करता हूँ, हजारों मील आती है, मैं टैक्सेस पे करता हूँ, जो भी इंपोर्ट ड्यूटीज है सब पे करता हूँ, फिर भी वो चीप होता है, यहाँ बनाने से ज़्यादा है. तो this is one thing that was pointed out, which really led to a lot of thinking, a lot of real churn. I mean, not just med devices,